I found this Penney's fan on the curb today. Don't know what year it's from. Haven't tested it yet, but it has a Redmond motor. The information right there. Looks like it's a 3.4 amp motor, so it's probably shaded pole. And control switch is right here. It's missing the knob, but it's a 3-speed. This is a Lakewood fan. That's interesting. But yeah, the blades are really bent, especially that one right there. I don't know how that happened. I can only imagine someone did that on purpose. But I'm going to try and bend those back and see if I can get this to run. So let me do that. And nobody cut the cord off, so that's a good sign. Pretty sure this grill is bent, so I'm going to have to straighten that out. I just sort of got the blades straightened out. At least they're better than they were, but here's the inside of this motor. It is absolutely filthy. That's going to have to be cleaned out. Alright, I got it spinning freely. Let's see what it does when I plug it in. Actually, I'm going to hook up the kilowatt meter so we can see how many amps it's pulling. But yeah, it spins very free. Alright, let's plug it in. Sounds like it's on high right now. Definitely a shaded pole motor, but it runs. It's moving a lot of air. It's definitely going to need to be balanced because that's shaking like crazy. Yeah, I don't understand people why they wreck things and just toss them in the trash. Like, this thing runs perfectly. I wasn't able to get to any of the other speeds. Off video I did get it to turn on high for a short time, but I couldn't get it back on high. That switch is messed up. But this is a pretty nice motor. It's got oil ports on the front and back. So I am going to try and balance this blade because it shakes around a lot. I'm going to take this front, or whatever, I don't know if that's the front or back, I guess it's the back. I'm going to take that back grill off. Alright, I got it all balanced, and I was also able to get it up to high speed. So let's see what our amperage is on high. Pretty sure it was on medium before. But it runs nice and smooth now. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously, it still needs to be cleaned and everything, but it's working. It's working just fine. I'm going to let it run for a little while. Yeah, well, it's been a while since I've done anything with this Penney's exhaust fan with the Redmond motor. I want to clean it up more, take the motor apart and oil it, and take this switch out so I can see exactly what the mechanism is like inside, so I can find a proper knob for it, because it's one of these types, and it's real hard to find anything to get to switch the speeds. And that is the speed coil for the motor. So yeah, going to do a little work on this today. I got the switch opened up, and yeah, I'm just going to have to replace this entire switch because this is completely broken inside, so I'll be getting a new 3-speed fan switch from somewhere. So I just had a thought that maybe I could use that speed switch on this piece of shit Aero Speed on that Penney's fan. I'm going to take that switch off of there and see if there's a rating on it, and if it can handle the higher amp draw of the older fan. because the rest of this fan is just going in the garbage. I mean, the blade's broken, the motor's completely locked up and has a blown thermal fuse, so it's not worth anything. Here's the switch off the aero speed. Unfortunately, it's not going to be very easy to mount this, because this mounted completely differently. It had where is it? There's a little nut that went on this. It would go through this hole and then would be held in place with a nut, which is right here. Alright, I got the rotary part of the switch from the aero speed out to put in here because it turns out this is actually okay. I can turn this and it'll make contact. So what I'm going to do is just pull this out and put this one in place, and we should be able to use the same switch. So that's good. I ended up accidentally breaking the original switch housing, which is a shame because it's an old General Electric part. Fortunately, I ended up finding another switch that I had, and this one is in perfect shape, so I'm going to put this one in. Okay, switch is all wired up and it works fine. Got all 3 speeds. There's not very much difference between the between a couple of the speeds, but high is noticeably faster. So, as usual, probably a worn-out speed coil. Pretty common. I'm going to put this back together, and then I'm going to start cleaning this thing. Got the switch box all put back on. Now I'm going to take the blade off and wash it and take the motor apart and clean it up because it is really bad in there. Blade was kind of stuck on there, so I had to use the puller to get it off, but it's off now. And this motor spins pretty free, but I'm still going to take it apart and oil it. It's got oil ports, as you can see, but it's very dirty inside. The motor is opened up. This is the front cover, rotor, and back cover. These windings look kind of weird. Now that could just be paint overspray. I think that's probably what it is. It's just paint overspray. I don't think those are burnt at all. But it is really greasy and dirty in here. This needs to be cleaned badly. I washed the blade with soap and water, and I cleaned this whole frame off with alcohol wipes, so it's nice and clean now. Motor's all clean and ready to go back together, so I'm going to oil it and put it back together. Okay, the motor's all back together, it's spinning nice and free. So I'm going to start putting the fan back together. Alright, got it all put back together. Straighten the grill out. So it's ready to go. Let's turn it on. Let's start it up. Go all the way up to high. Not much of a difference on low at all, but it runs great. There's a bit of a vibration on high speed. I'm going to have to do something about that. But it seems to be pretty well balanced, so that's good. And I'll show you the spin down from high. Very high quality motor in this thing.